Welcome to another Week in Review. This SKNIS-produced program is geared at highlighting the work of the Government of National Unity for the past week. I am your presenter, Jamiela McPhail. In the top stories this week, good governance and prosperity are key components of any government, says Attorney General Byron. The 21st Annual St. Kitts Music Festival launched for the first time in February. Government of National Unity has delivered on over 50 promises to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Minister Hamilton receives high praise at dinner to mark his 7th anniversary as a parliamentarian. As the government continues along a path of good governance and accountability for prosperity with the aim of being more transparent, the Honorable Vincent Byron Jr., Attorney General, has described the theme as one of the most important, as it is the key component of the proper running of any nation. Speaking at the recently held Good Governance and Accountability for Prosperity Town Hall meeting on Tuesday, Minister Byron explained that the government has been practical in its quest to be accountable to the people.
We showed the people of St. Kitts and Nevis that things going good, that we had put together a prosperity agenda that each and every one of us could be proud of. We showed where we had managed significant economic growth in the country, where we have had a number of programs that make us better as a people.
Attorney General the Honorable Vincent Byron Jr. For the first time in history of the St. Kitts Music Festival, the committee made the announcement in February of the selection of the first set of artists to appear on the annual St. Kitts Music Festival. According to the chairman of the Artist Selection Committee, Ambassador Jonelle Powell, who spoke at the official launch of the 2017 Music Festival on Wednesday, February 1st, the first selected artists are Jacure, Mavado, Shabba Ranks, and the Google Dolls.
As the Minister indicated, the selection committee has been working for a number of months now. You'll recall that at the end of the 20th edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival last year, I had given an undertaking that we were targeting a carnival launch of the festival with the first slate of artists. I tried to not live up to the typical politician reputation and aim to do that. However, we encountered some difficulties, and so we were prepared in January as opposed to December to launch. And here we are on the 1st of February, prepared to announce to you today the first wave of artists for the St. Kitts Music Festival 21, which is slated for June 22nd to 24th.
Ambassador Powell further announced innovations to the Thursday night.
We want to really focus especially on the vision for Thursday night. Last year, we had one of, if not the biggest Thursday night in the history of the St. Kitts Music Festival. A night which was dwindling, a night which many persons had actually suggested that we cut off. We had tremendous success, and unfortunately for the selection committee, raised the bar, a bar that we find hard to now live up to. But we want to make Thursday night this year a party. We want to make it a fete. And so we want to particularly involve the local population. We want to involve you in terms of how we develop Thursday night and the types of acts that we have. We want you to help us to work out our Thursday night to the benefit of all of us. And so some of the things that we have been considering and plan to put out for you include bringing international DJs to participate with the atmosphere. We've actually had considerations and suggestions of including a foam pit in the Thursday Night Music Festival. One of the new things that we would like to present to you is a band clash. A band clash between local bands, which the participants would be selected by you, the public. We hope to have your involvement through social media and other means to vote and determine which two local bands you want to see clash. We really want to put some energy into Thursday night. We will have regional and international acts coming in, but we want to involve the local public more.
Chairman of the Artist Selection Committee of the St. Kitts Music Festival, Ambassador Jonelle Powell. Members of the Team Unity administration are proud of their stellar performance in government over the past 2 years. And according to Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, they are very satisfied that the government has kept the faith of the people. According to Prime Minister Harris, the government has remained wedded as a team. He revealed that over 50 promises have been delivered upon to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. While time did not allow Dr. Harris to list all the achievements of his government, he spoke to some that have directly impacted the lives of the ordinary citizenry of the Federation.
We removed VAT and food and medicine, educational supplies and funeral expenses. It was the most vulnerable, the poor, who was hardest hit by the imposition of a 17% VAT on food and medicine, educational supplies and funeral expenses. We could not allow the government to tax people to be kept alive and in debt, to tax them again to 17% VAT on their funeral expenses. And I was heartened one night when a young lady from East Bastia came to speak to me and to tell me that she had felt the difference. She thought it was a good fortune of the funeral operator, and so she had gone to thank them. And they guided the wise thing in telling her to seek out the Prime Minister to say thanks. She did just that, and I commended her on behalf of the team. The second important delivery that we have done was to repay outstanding gratuities to former sugar workers. I am pleased to report that to date, 2,003 former sugar workers or their beneficiaries have been paid. Promise made, promise delivered by the Team Unity. Many said it couldn't be done. Many said they won't own a dime. Many said that the money was hidden in St. Martin. Well, we got the money, and it did not cost our treasury 1 cent, thanks to the goodness of the government of Venezuela. We were able to do it in 4 months, which a government from 2005 could not do and could not resolve. $13.05 million is the sum that has been paid out to date to over 2,003 persons. Imagine how many families have been touched. One policy decision directly impacted 2003, and contrast this with the payout in 2005 under the last administration, when a mere 968 persons received sums. 2003 versus 968. You do the maths and you see who has done more and who has touched more households and more families. We are also pleased to report, that the small and medium-sized enterprises who we promise to help in the context of what we consider the preferred treatment that had been given to foreign and large entities, particularly by the SIDF. We said we will help these small local businesses, and we are pleased that we have been able to do so. In 2016, we found $21 million 16 in the first instance by the government of Venezuela. And then after the program was oversubscribed in a very short period of time, they then brought another $5 million. And so we were able to get $21 million disbursed by the program at the end of 2016. And then for 2017, what did we do? We have budgeted for $35.4 million to be made available to the small and medium-sized enterprises. This is the largest pool of resources ever mobilized by any government in support of small businesses. To date, we are happy to report that 427 applicants have succeeded through the Fresh Start financing program that is being managed by the Development Bank. 427 and $28.5 million have been disbursed since the start of the Fresh Start program. 427 applicants, $28.5 million. Among the groups of beneficiaries are people involved in agriculture, in agro-processing. We saw many of them on display when the Development Bank held an open day in Independence Square. We saw joiners, and we saw a lawyer step up on the stage to say, I am a proud beneficiary of support from the from the Fresh Start program. And so a wide cross-section of persons have benefited from this program. And in addition to the money, the Development Bank has employed at least 2 professional persons, of whom I'm aware, to go and to provide support to small businesses in management, in record keeping, in understanding the difference between dollars in and profits. Sometimes people mix it up, that you get a good sale today, and people forget that some of it is yours and some of it is to pay your creditors. And that is one of the challenges why several small businesses falter and die. But we are taking a chance at the small business because all over the world we are advised they have become the engine of economic growth. Some may fail, but many would survive. And so we want that to continue.
Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. The Honorable Eugene Hamilton is celebrating 7 years of parliamentary service to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. On Sunday evening, a banquet was held in his honor. He was praised for his service.
The reason for us being here this evening is to help Minister Hamilton reflect and celebrate his 7 years as an elected parliamentarian. 5 of those 7 years was spent on the opposition benches. And one may wonder, what is there to celebrate when he has only been a minister for nigh 2 years? But to those of us who know our Bible, we would know that the number 7 bears significance in the life of a Christian. But since I am not here to give biblical instructions, I will move right along. I would like to point out some of Minister Hamilton's efforts at improving the lives of not only his constituents, but all citizens. While in opposition, his knowledge of our Constitution was made evidently clear by the questions he asked the then government. He asked questions to which they were to bring answers back to Parliament, and our people are better off today for his contributions. His knowledge of the standing orders, the rules which govern the conduct of Parliament, have been exceptional. And perhaps that is why he was made leader of government business in our Parliament. Since becoming a minister, he has, through one of his several ministries, brought assistance to some of our indigent poor by helping them to add bathrooms to their homes and fix roofs that have been leaking on them for years. This again was not just for his constituency, but became an island-wide initiative.
You have been viewing another edition of the Week in Review. This program is geared at highlighting the work of the Government of National Unity for the past week. I was your presenter, Jamiela McPhail.